Good morning. It is in the butt crack of dawn. I mean, not really, but it's like 6:15 and I am so tired. I don't know if you're anything like me, but when I am like anxious about something, it shows up in my sleep patterns, and then I wake up like 15 times during the night. And then I kind of stopped working out in the mornings. I started working out more toward the night. And granted, that is exhausting. And I don't do that every time. I prefer working out in the mornings. But honestly, I have been so tired. I think it's like a combination of all the things that I've been doing. And ignore my nails, they need to be redone. But I can't get them off because it's gel and I don't have acetone. And I'm not paying to get them off yet. So you're just gonna have to deal with them. I'm just gonna do this little makeup look that I was kind of inspired to do by like a couple of techniques and stuff. Put like a rose gold on the inner part of their eye, and that to me was really cool. So I kind of came up with this little look using my Subculture palette, and we're just gonna focus on the eyes today. I don't want to get too crazy and make this video like stupid long or anything. And let's get into it. So I already have my eyes prepped with concealer and all that. I'm gonna go in with Dawn, which is this really pretty kind of like peachy shade. Okay, does anyone else get attacked by the brushes? Because that's me every day. I'm gonna use this Dawn shade. And I'm gonna just put that in my crease. I had a, this color always calls to me because it's burgundy and it's like my favorite color. That's why my shirt is this color. Most of my fall clothing is this color, or yellow, or orange. And I saw this shade Mercury, and there's this really, I think her name was like, whatever, I'll remember it one day. But she was talking about how she didn't like Mercury because it was so much like cooler toned and just kind of didn't fit with the palette. I beg to differ. I think it looks really good with everything. And because of that, I kind of wanted to incorporate it in a look. So I think I ended up mixing up like the rose gold technique with that color as well. But I didn't want to make it basic and make that like the outer part of the eye. I actually started using it on the middle of the eye. And so I'm gonna leave that kind of like outside a little bit blank. I'm just gonna kind of put this on the middle of my eye as our, we're gonna do kind of like a gradient color. And I say gradient very loosely because we're obviously using some crazy shades, so, because this is the Subculture palette. This is not the palette that everything actually is relatively the same color. Right, it's got like yellow and greens and red and brown and everything in between. And so to add on the outer part of our eye, we're going to pick up this All-Star shade that I got going right here. And I'm going to pick this up probably with the same brush. This is an Eco Tools brush. It's kind of a little bit fluffy, but it's still condensed. And so it's good for just kind of packing on that shade. Because this palette has a ton of fallout, not nearly as much as people dramatically do this number and then it kicks up and everything, but you gotta be gentle with the palette. I personally really like this palette, but I will admit it is extremely hard to work with as far as like blending purposes. Like, it does not blend at all like the first modern Renaissance, which they describe as being like the sister or cousin or something of the modern Renaissance palette. Pretty sure it's not the cousin. Pretty sure it's like the sister palette, but whatever. I'm packing this burgundy shade on this outer rim here, and with every shade, because these are a little bit more difficult to blend out, I will be taking that kind of like lighter peachy shade, Dawn, and I'm just going to kind of buff over the top of that just to kind of smooth out the line, just to make sure that, you know, we're taking our time with this and it's not going to end up some crazy mess. I'm going to pack that All-Star shade on again, and I'm just going to kind of build these shades up as I see it needs it. On the flip side of this brush, I'm going to pick up that Mercury shade one more time. And I'm going to pack that a little bit over the middle again, just to kind of intensify it, because I feel like they lose that intensive pop that they have when you try to blend it all, but they're incredibly pigmented and they refuse to blend sometimes, if that makes any sense. So it makes this palette a little bit different to work with. And I'll probably clean up that edge because I always get really heavy-handed on this outer corner. In other news, I'm listening to Christmas music. Christmas Lights by Coldplay. Alright, this brush is a little dirty. That's okay. I'm going to be taking the ColourPop eyeshadow, the Super Shock eyeshadow in Weenie. I think this is one of Kathleen Light's collabs, I want to say. If it's not, it's one of her favorite shades. It has some sort of tie to Kathleen Lights, as is everything that I ever buy. I'm going to focus this on that first part of the eye, kind of that we left blank. I'm just going to kind of build it up. Okay, so I finished up my makeup and like my face makeup, and so to finish off the eyes, I totally forgot to film this part, but I ended up adding All Star with a thick pencil brush, like one of those really dense ones, and I pulled it all the way to kind of like where my lash line stops, and then I took a really fine brush with a like really thin edge here. These are perfect for those like right underneath the eyes or like right along the lash line, and I used that gray color Mercury. And now to finish off, I'm gonna take my ColourPop eyeshadow once more, and I'm gonna drag this pinky color down to where I stopped with the other eyeshadow, because I really, really want this to be like the main focus of the eye, and I want to tie it all together and not just have it up on the upper lid. I'm going to finish off with some Tarte Gifted Mascara, and then I'll be back. Me taking the Maybelline Shaping Lip Liner color, okay, I said that complete reverse order. Color Sensational Shaping Lip Liner in Magnetic Mauve. This is 125. I'm going to line my lips with it. Okay, so this is the finished look. I finished it off with a little bit of highlight from my Wet n Wild Mega Glow, because I thought the rose gold looked really good with this rose gold. And then I topped it all off with my Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. And then my second lipstick from Too Faced, which y'all know is like one of my favorite fall shades. It just goes with everything, especially on my burgundy and purple looks, which is a lot of what I wear. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and I'll see y'all next time. Hope y'all enjoyed my little jam session, because I sure did. Merry Christmas, like a month early. It's fine. Casual. Alright, well, I'll see y'all next time, and thank y'all for tuning in. Bye. Jamin.